All right, welcome back everyone for another deep dive. This time we're jumping headfirst into the world of AI and video games.
Yeah, really fascinating stuff.
When you think AI and video games, you might think like way out there in the future,
Yeah.
right?
Something from science fiction.
But we were reading this article,
It's called a stump gupia?
yeah, something like that. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that one again.
No.
But yeah, this article made it really clear that AI is already changing games in a big way. Like games we are playing right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
And one of the coolest things, I think, is how AI is powering up these NPCs.
Yeah.
You know those non-player characters, the
Yeah.
ones we interact with all the time?
Yeah.
And they used to be so predictable, but
Yeah, they always did the same thing.
now they're learning, they're adapting. Like, how does that even work?
Well, it's all about the algorithms, right? Developers are using these things called decision trees and neural networks. And basically what they do is they give the NPCs this ability to react to what you're doing in the game, your choices, but in like a smarter way.
So it's not just like, okay, if the player does this,
Mhm.
then the NPC does that.
No, it's way more nuanced than that. It's like, let's take an example.
Yeah.
Like, imagine a bandit, the kind that's always hiding behind the same rock.
Yep.
Well, now with these algorithms, he remembers your last encounter and he's going to try something different this time.
So he's learning from your playstyle, essentially.
Exactly.
Wow. So that would make every playthrough feel different.
Oh, absolutely.
But are we talking like, are these NPCs actually thinking?
Well, not in the way that we think, right?
Okay.
It's more about creating the illusion of intelligence, I guess you could say.
So it's still code.
Yeah, it's still code. It's just very sophisticated code. The tricky part is making those algorithms complex enough so that the NPC feels real and like that you don't realize it's just an AI.
It doesn't break the immersion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. It kind of reminds me of when weather systems in games first became really dynamic.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't just a visual thing anymore. It started impacting how you had to play the game.
Right,
Thinking about visibility or even like traction
right.
added a whole new layer of strategy.
Absolutely. And that's what's so cool about AI. It can really add that depth and make the world feel more real.
Okay, let's dive into another big one. Procedural content generation.
Hmm.
I mean, even the name sounds complicated.
Right. It's a mouthful.
So break it down for us. What is that all about?
Okay, so basically imagine AI building the game world for you as you play.
Okay.
Not the whole world necessarily, but like levels, quests, all that stuff.
Right.
So instead of a pre-designed map that's always the same,
Yeah.
the AI creates unique layouts, challenges, even storylines every single time you play.
So kind of like, I don't know, like Minecraft, how it creates a different world every time.
Exactly. But imagine that on a much bigger scale. Like entire dungeons that you've never seen before, quests, even storylines.
But the possibilities are endless, basically.
Yeah, well, that's the goal. The challenge, of course, is making sure that content is still fun. No one wants to play through a bunch of randomly generated levels that feel repetitive or boring.
Right. It still has to feel designed.
Yeah, exactly. Like someone put a lot of thought into it.
It has to be engaging.
Right, that's the key.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like having an infinite number of games in one.
Right.
It makes me think about roguelike games, the ones where you die a lot and have to restart.
Oh, yeah, I love those.
Procedural generation would be perfect for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Every run would feel totally fresh,
Yeah.
even if you're playing the same game, basically.
Okay, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about player analytics.
Sure.
Now, this one sounds a little, I don't know, Big Brother-ish.
You know what you mean.
AI is like watching how we play.
Well, it can sound creepy, I admit, but it's not about spying on you.
Okay.
Think of it more as a way for the game to, like, understand you better.
Understand.
Yeah. Your play style, what you like, what you don't like, so it can tailor the experience to you.
Oh, so it's like those personalized recommendations you get on like streaming services.
Exactly. Like, imagine the AI adjusting the game's difficulty depending on how well you're doing.
Okay.
If you're breezing through, it gets harder. If you're struggling, maybe it gives you a little nudge in the right direction.
So you're always at the right level of challenge.
Yeah, always keeping you engaged. Not too easy, not too frustrating.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. Imagine a game that adapts to your strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
Like, it could even suggest different strategies
Yeah.
based on how you play.
That's the idea.
No more banging your head against the same boss for hours.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, now let's talk about the one that sounds like it's straight out science fiction. AI-driven storytelling.
Oh, yeah, this is a big one.
I mean, Can AI really tell a compelling story?
It can. And it's starting to happen already. Think of a game where your choices really matter and it leads to all these different storylines, different endings.
Yeah.
AI is what makes those branching storylines possible.
So the AI is essentially weaving a story based on my decisions.
Exactly. It's not just following a set path, it's reacting to what you do.
Yeah.
Imagine a conversation with a character.
Right.
Or the AI remembers your past choices and actually changes what that character says to you.
That's wild.
Or a character that reacts to your actions with real emotions, like they get angry or sad or happy depending on what you do.
So it's not just about having infinite possibilities.
Right.
It's about making sure those possibilities feel real and impactful.
Exactly. That's the challenge, right? Making sure those AI-generated stories are cohesive, that they make sense, and that they have meaning. It can't just be a random jumble of events.
Yeah, like a choose-your-own-adventure book gone wrong or something.
Exactly. Yeah, it's got to be more than that.
Okay, before we wrap up, let's talk about AI's role in testing and bug detection. Maybe not as glamorous as, like, AI storytelling.
Right.
But still super important.
Yeah, it's crucial.
So how is AI making games better behind the scenes?
Well, think about it. You have these huge, massive games,
Yeah,
open worlds, tons of different things you can do,
right.
and someone has to test all of that, make sure there are no bugs.
Oh, yeah, that would be a nightmare.
Right. Well, that's where AI comes in. It can automate a lot of that testing process.
Okay, so the AI is basically finding all the bugs and glitches that we, as players, would hate.
Exactly. The AI can run through thousands of scenarios way faster and more efficiently than any human could.
So then the developers can just focus on fixing them.
Yeah, exactly. Making the game better for everyone.
No more game-breaking bugs. That's what I like to hear.
That's the goal.
All right, now for the really mind-blowing stuff. We've talked about AI powering up NPCs, creating content.
Yeah.
But what about AI as gameplay itself? What does that even mean?
Well, there's this game called AI Dungeon. Have you heard of it? It's a text-based game, but the game master is actually an AI. It creates the story, reacts to your inputs, like it's incredibly creative.
So the AI is almost like a player in the game.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And it's really impressive what it can come up with.
So what other possibilities are there for AI as gameplay? I mean, what could the future hold?
Oh, so many things. Like, imagine AI-controlled characters that aren't just following a script, they're actually making your own decisions, surprising you, making the world feel truly alive.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
Or think about games that evolve as you play, based on your interactions with the AI. Like, every playthrough is totally unique.
It sounds like AI could completely redefine what a video game even is. We're not just playing a game anymore, we're playing with AI.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, that's what's so exciting about this.
So what does this all mean for someone who just likes to play games?
Well, AI is already making games more immersive, more engaging, more personalized, and we're really just getting started. Imagine a world where AI can design games for you based on what you like. Whoa.
Or where the characters you interact with are almost impossible to distinguish from real people.
Crazy.
It's going to be wild.
Yeah. The future of gaming is definitely looking pretty exciting.
It is.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI and video games. Be sure to keep an eye out for all the amazing ways AI is changing how we play. And let us know if you come across any cool examples. Until next time,
See ya.
game on.